Welcome to the Restoration Domination Podcast, where you learn actionable advice that moves the needle and helps service-based businesses dominate. Here's your host, Rico Garcia Jr.
What is going on, Dominators? Rico Garcia here, and let's just start off this episode with a couple of quick questions that I think are really important. And first and foremost, let's just start off here. How do you feel, and do you like it when someone gives you a gift? Do you like it when someone gives you an expensive gift? Does that make it even better? Or do you like to travel and maybe see new places? Do you like vacationing, going to places like, for example, maybe Orlando, Florida? Maybe it's Vegas for you. Perhaps it's someplace like Colorado Springs, or maybe Miami, or something a little bit more exciting like the Grand Canyon, maybe New Orleans, or how about Yosemite? Or do you like some more exotic locations to vacation in? How about a place like London, maybe Hawaii, Buenos Aires, or Sydney? I know, maybe you like Vienna or Rio de Janeiro, or maybe Punta Cana, Medellin. How about Fiji? Or how would you like to spend 5 days in a place like France or Japan or Santorini? Or maybe Italy is a little bit more your speed. Maybe you like places like Milan and Venice. And of course, we can't forget places like Rome. Well, if you answered yes to any one of those locations or to any one of those questions, then I got news for you. So does each and every single one of your customers, prospects, and potential referral partners. Now, you might be asking, what does this have to do with my business? Well, very simple. What we're going to be covering on this podcast here today is, number one, a strategy that I personally have implemented that has accounted for a tremendous amount of money into our business, that I have helped consult with other organizations on how to implement this strategy that adds multiple seven figures to their business, and more importantly, how you can do so as well without breaking the bank. And so that I don't keep you in suspense, you're going to have an opportunity to test drive this absolutely free, so you can start giving this away to your prospects, to your referral partners, to people in your organization. And more importantly, if you see the value in it, which I am more than positive that you will, the total cost for this is only, are you ready? $37 a month. That's it. And I'm going to show you how this strategy works, how you could start implementing this today, and literally how you can just crush the competition. When you go head to head with some other organization and you're trying to go after them, maybe you're trying to go after a facilities manager, or your business development team is showing up with pretty much the exact same pitch and the same exact material, and they really have very little to connect with. This is the one thing that we have proven time and time again to push people over the edge for several reasons that we're going to get into in this podcast. But before we do, because this is going to be a relatively short show today, I want to take a quick moment and thank our sponsors. What's going on, Florida contractors and public adjusters? I've got something for you. And I want to introduce you to Pack on the Go. Pack on the Go really should be your go-to organization whenever you're talking about dealing with contents, pack outs, pack backs, contents restoration, etc. Here's the hard truth. A lot of us in the restoration arena don't want to turn away money. But the reality is a lot of restoration companies simply are not built for contents. They don't have the storage facilities. They don't have the expertise on how to properly handle contents, how to properly restore contents. And what ends up happening is, just because you wanted to take on a deal, you end up spending more money, and ultimately you have an unsatisfied customer. And that's where Pack on the Go has been an absolute amazing addition to our team in the way that we've done business with our restoration company and with other public adjusters that we've recommended over the years. Pack on the Go, it services the entire state of Florida, and more importantly, they have the expertise of over 20 years in the business. You can go ahead and have your customer and yourself track all of the inventory, 24/7 surveillance in their warehouses, and the list of benefits just goes on. Listen, you're a restorer, do what restorers do best, and that's get in, take care of the water mitigation, the mold, the fire and smoke, and leave the contents to the pros. If you're in the Florida area, reach out to Pack on the Go, the Contents Pro. Hey, real quick, are you a restoration pro looking to hire top talent inside of our industry? We all know that labor shortages are real, but I may have a solution for you, okay? And that is Wylander. Why? Well, very simple. They are the go-to recruiting company inside of the restoration arena. Well, the reason I say that is very simple. They've got proofs in the pudding. They've got over 1,000 placements in all 50 states, plus Canada. And what that means is that they not only have the expertise, but more importantly, they have the connections to find that top industry talent that you and your team are looking for. So stop wasting time. Stop sifting through tons and tons of resumes and just conducting endless interviews. Let Wylander do the heavy lifting for you and help you find that right person to help your company succeed. Call Wylander today and start building that dream team inside of the restoration arena. Hey, Dominators, most owners with an agent marketer hope that they're getting a return on their investment, but really have no idea how many referrals they're actually getting from individual agencies. You see, agent marketers are not sales professionals. Gerry Edtl is a specialist at referral revenue from insurance agents. He started back in the 70s as a restoration technician, and 34 years later ended up as the national sales trainer for one of the largest restoration franchise companies here in the US. And for the past 16 years, he's helped restorers succeed at creating long-term referral revenue from insurance agents. Agent marketers are in-person advertisers. Agent sales professionals are job generators when they actually have a strategy. Who do you have working for you? Do they have the tools that they need to capture the market share that's available to you? This is what I want you to do. I want you to talk to Gerry. Click the link to schedule a free call. Up-level your profitability today. Hey, Dominators, are you facing cash flow issues? Well, Inc. has your back with advanced funding. Qualifying contractors can receive working capital within 1 to 2 business days. So this way you can say goodbye to the burden of floating resources for materials as well as labor. Restore properties faster with the funds that you need. The cost? Simple. Just 1.95% of the claims check for the first 30 days, prorated daily thereafter, or you could opt for a flat rate of just 3.95% with uncertainty protection. Remember to use promo code DOMINATE and receive 50% off the one-time sign-up fee of $2.99 for InkPay, and then unlock the rest of Ink's innovative payment solutions. Start your journey at ink.com today. That's IINK.com, Inc.com, and use promo code DOMINATE. All right, what's going on, Dominators? Really excited about dropping some value for you today. We are approaching the end of 2023. 2024 is right around the corner. We're really excited because I think that these strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to be something that you can start implementing into your business. And I think that this could make a huge difference to really set you apart from everybody else, right? Now, a couple of things that I want to cover here, right? I really want you to think about the overall psychology of reciprocity, right? How is it that you feel when someone gives you something of real, true, genuine value? How do you feel when someone does something nice for you? Immediately, most of us anyways, unless you're, just an evil individual, as a general rule of thumb, if someone does something nice for you, you want to kind of do something nice for them, right? It's that law of reciprocity. It's like, oh, you did something for me, I want to go ahead and do something for you. Or you did something that's really cool and gave me something of real value, and you were really thoughtful and you were listening to the things that I was saying. You know what? You're different than everybody else. I'm going to do something nice for you, which in a lot of cases in the world of business is I'm going to give you an opportunity to earn my business. And that's what this particular strategy has the ability to do for you. Now, what is it that we're talking about? What we're talking about is using the power of giving away free vacation packages and vacation incentives, things like that. Now, before you start making decisions already in your head about how cheesy this is, or how this doesn't work for the industry, or, it sounds gimmicky, or all of this stuff, the first thing that I would go ahead and kind of put people out there in check with is, show me the data that you've tried this and that it hasn't worked, and that you have a case study of people saying that it's cheesy and or gimmicky. Because frankly, at the end of the day, most people that say that it's gimmicky or that it doesn't work or whatever, they do not have the data to support that, and they're just basing it on their own little misdirected feelings. And the truth is that in business, how it looks, how it sounds, how it's perceived to other pros in the industry has no bearing on how much revenue you're able to generate. The market dictates what works and what doesn't work. And what we have is, I personally have used this. And like I said, I've consulted with other organizations that have implemented it and have seen some amazing growth strategies by using this selectively on either A, cultivating new relationships, or creating amazing referral partners, or using it as an incentive or as a surprise after projects are already done to their existing customer base. Or in some cases, they use it to maybe boost their Google business listing reviews, right? There's a million different ways that you can go ahead and use this, but it's a very, very simple concept. First and foremost, what we do, and what this is going to give you the ability to do, is every single one of your prospects or referral partners, or maybe, facilities managers, whoever it is that you're pitching, you're going to have the ability to go ahead and gift them, absolutely free of charge to them, a multiple night, multiple day stay at tons and tons of different 5-star resorts all around the world. Every single one of those locations that I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, each and every single one of them has multiple 5-star resorts that we have sent clients to, absolutely free of charge, where they're paying zero out of pocket. And it's all really quite simple, right? If you go to restorationdomination.com/vacation, again, that's restorationdomination.com/vacation, you're going to go ahead and be redirected to the site that we are speaking about. And you're going to have the ability to go ahead and sign up totally free with a 7-day free trial. And then after that, if you see the value in it and you see how it works, the cost is only $37 a month, just $37 a month. And you could literally, from the moment, even on your free trial, you can go ahead and gift yourself a vacation to see exactly how it works. You can gift it to one of your employees, one of your project managers, gift it to a prospect, do whatever. You've got 7 days to play with it to see how it works, so that you know it's the real deal. Let me give you a couple of asterisks and, some disclosures here, so that you know what to expect. Because a lot of people, when we're talking about the strategy, the first thing that they think about is like, oh shit, if I'm getting a free vacation, I'm probably going to have to send my clients to some BS timeshare presentation that's totally horrible, and it's just a really bad experience. No timeshare presentation, right? There's no catch. There's no strings attached. This is literally like you getting on the phone with a travel agent, okay, or going to Expedia.com and booking a 5-star resort, paying for the hotel stay for your client, and then just handing them the check-in information. It's just that simple. So the way that we've used this is pretty simple. We basically, assess where we want to really create an impact in our business. Now, we've used this in several ways, especially on the residential side, but it certainly works very well on the business development side, right? Because again, if you're building these commercial style relationships, these are people just like you, right? These are people that, if you can get excited about taking a vacation or a stay at any one of these locations, odds are is a facilities manager or a property manager, they're going to have an upcoming vacation at some point. And it's called a spade a spade. The economy for a lot of people isn't amazing, right? We have inflation. We have a lot of things that are going on. We got gas prices that are going up. We got food prices that are going up. We've got all expenses are just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, everybody understands that. I think that we're on the same page when it comes to those kind of scenarios. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that, whether on the residential or the commercial side, you know what, they might feel a little bit of that pinch as well, regardless of what their annual income is. One of the first things that has a tendency to kind of fly out the window is vacation time, right? Because again, why spend $1,500, $2,000 on a stay when that could be allocated somewhere else, right? So by being able to, throughout conversation, to have a conversation with a prospect or someone that you've been romancing here for a while and be like, hey, do you travel? How often do you travel? Where would you, where's, are you married? Where's your wife been wanting to go? Oh yeah, really? What's kind of been holding you back? All right, sure, no problem. And then, out of the blue, you're like, hey, you know what? I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and send you off to a vacation to, let's say, for example, Milan, right? Or to Paris, or to, Phuket, or wherever that destination is. Or maybe it's something a little bit more local, right? Maybe it's just Orlando or Miami or Vegas or any one of these amazing places domestically, to be able to have that conversation and then hand them an email and or an actual certificate with your company name saying that your company has given you this complimentary vacation to fill in the blank. I'm sorry to tell you, like, this is the kind of stuff that, number one, most people in our industry are simply not utilizing. That's number one. And number two, it's very difficult for a customer to not want to do business with you when you're giving them something that is of extreme value. Now, if you're asking how is it that this works, it's actually quite simple. When you go to restorationdomination.com/vacation, it's going to take you to the page where you can sign up and, get the free trial and try this out yourself. But the way that it works is this organization, right, this travel partner, what they do is they buy up the unoccupied space. Most hotels, most resorts, as busy as they may seem, as an average, they're at about 70%, maybe 75% occupancy rate, right? Well, the resort, their goal is to have traffic into the resort. So what this organization does is they buy up and or guarantee to the resorts that they can go ahead and get X amount of people through the door. And of course, the resort is, they've got a couple of issues of their own, right? What they're trying to do is they're trying to get bodies into the resort, because if you're there, you're probably going to order room service. You're probably going to spend time at the spa. You're probably going to spend money in the resort anyways. So instead of having just a 70-75% occupancy rate, and then the rest of the rooms are just sitting empty, what they rather do is they rather partner with travel partners like the one that you'll see when you go to restorationdomination.com/vacation. And what they'll do is, with companies such as ours, where we go ahead and pay our membership, and then we go ahead and give those vacation incentives away to our prospects and or referral partners. Now, all of a sudden, that resort has a fresh body in the resort. That's simply spending money. And then, of course, plus, you multiply $37, which we pay for access to this kind of stuff, and, multiply that by, 15,000, 20,000 active users. Well, those numbers start to add up rather quickly. And of course, that's how money shifts hands, in order for us to take all of those savings and then pass that on to an amazing prospect. So where are some of the scenarios that you can use this? Again, my recommendation would be, look at your business, look at your organization, and start chipping one at a time. Maybe your business doesn't have the best Google reviews, right? Or maybe you haven't done a really great job, or the people in the field haven't done a great job of collecting Google reviews. Incentivize people, right? Incentivize them and say, hey, look, if you give me an honest review of the services that we've done, we'll go ahead and give you a vacation, a free vacation to fill in the blank, because hopefully you gathered this information on some of the places that they like. Or you could just say, hey, look, because typically anywhere that they're going to mention, there is going to be a vacation package that's available there. And you say, hey, look, if I'm really curious, where would be an amazing place that you haven't gone yet that you would really love to go? And let's just say that they say fill in the blank, whatever that spot is. You'd be like, great. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pay for that for you. Okay. No strings attached. You don't have to sit through a timeshare presentation. You don't have to do anything. The only thing that I ask for in exchange is that you give me a Google review, right? Now, mind you, this is already for a client because you've already serviced them. So they should be somewhat happy with your service already, but maybe they weren't motivated enough to leave you a review, or maybe they were satisfied. They were kind of okay. Or maybe one of your guys like dropped the ball a little bit, and now you come in and you save the day because you have given them something of real, genuine value that they're going to appreciate. This isn't a little trinket that you're leaving behind. It's not a simple, handwritten thank you card. This is something of real value that, this couple, right, or this family can go ahead and enjoy. Another thing is on the business development side. Again, these are individuals that they are working their butts off, right? They're dealing with a lot of BS each and every single day, and they need vacations just like everyone else. So imagine to be, you being that person, because again, in the restoration industry, we come off as saviors in a lot of ways, right? Because they have an issue, we come in to save the day, get their businesses up and going again. These are high stress times for these individuals, right? Think about you being able to do this amazing work and then at the end of it and be like, man, I'm sure that this must have been really stressful for you. Obviously, it's a good thing that you and I are doing business together because we were able to do this. But you know what? I want to go above and beyond, and I want to make sure that you feel really good about, your next upcoming vacation. So that way you don't have to spend any money. Here you go. Here's an amazing free stay. Right? That relationship is going to be so solidified. It's going to be more solidified than any other vacation, than any other relationship that any other vendor that might be pitching them is currently going through. The other thing that you really want to think about is, even if they haven't given you business, what's the likelihood of them giving you business now when you're bringing something of value, right? And again, this is where and we have a lot of conversations with a lot of not only guests, which I'm sure that you've heard here on the show before, but a lot of conversations behind closed doors where it's like, hey, what we do is, we're leading with value about what they really care about in their business. Guys, that's all good. That's all great. Yes, you want to go ahead and talk to them about what's important. You want to talk to them about how good your company is and how fast you can respond and how quickly you can go ahead and take care of the issue and how you can make them look like a superstar. And this is all great on the professional front. What I am simply saying is that you can go ahead and layer that with yet their own personal gratification. You can go ahead and layer this with something that's going to make them as a human being, not as a pro in whatever their profession is and whatever their job role is, but as a human being on their off time. You want to have them thinking about you. And that's where I think the big disconnect is. So many of us are caught up about having these pros think about our company, think about how good of a sales rep I am, think about how great my company is. Like, that's all great. But think about how often they're going to think of you if on their personal time, this gentleman, maybe that you're pitching, right, and turns over to his wife, is like, honey, how are you enjoying this stay, in Milan? Or how are you enjoying this stay, and fill in the blank, right? It's amazing that we got this experience from ABC company and such sales rep. And you take it a step further. You start building your portfolio of people, your clients, that you've sent off on vacation that are sending you photos from their vacation destination, right? You want to go ahead. Now you have a talking point. These are relationships that are built on a personal touch, right? And I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of companies that are out there that, take some guys to a baseball game or a football game or this or that. And that's all great. I'm not telling you to stop doing any of that, but I am telling you that if you touch someone on something that is so personal to them, and more importantly, that is not cheap, because just because it's costing you $37 a month to have access to this, your client doesn't know that. All they see is the 5-star resort and the day that they're booking their thing. That's it. Pretty simple, straightforward. And when they check in and they realize that this is a valued at, $1,000, $1,500, $2,500, depending on the destination, that makes a world of difference. Let's talk about your existing client base, right? How many people do you currently have now in your database that you're trying to drum up additional business from, right? And again, look, you can't get business in the restoration arena from if there's no emergency, right? If there's no water mitigation, if there's no need for mold or a fire or something like that. But each and every single one of these individuals has a network. It may be a small network of maybe 2 to 3 people or immediate family, or they might be, a chairman of, some organization, or they might be, on the board of the Chamber of Commerce or something along those lines, right? Like everybody has a network. What if you were to use these kinds of incentives for additional referrals, right? These are the kind of thoughts that I think every business owner should have when they're talking about how can we go ahead and boost some business and how can we actually separate ourselves from what everybody else is doing. When you hear the exact same message over and over and over again, people are just going to get ear blind to it. They're just done. How many times haven't you shown up to pitch someone on your service, or you've gone to an estimate, whether it's commercial or residential, and you see some other company's pamphlet just sitting there, right? Or their little folder with their estimate, or their business card that's laying around, or maybe it's a mouse pad, or maybe it's like some hand sanitizer. It's like none of this really adds any true, genuine value to the person. And honestly, it's very forgetful. It's very forgetful. If I was to send you right now a free vacation to whatever your destination is, I promise you're not going to forget who sent you to that vacation. And if you do, you're not going to forget over the course of the next couple of months. It's going to take you a few years before you forget that. And that's assuming that I dropped the ball as a business owner and as a marketer because I haven't followed up with you. So the point is that I wanted to share this particular strategy with you. And I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I wanted to take a full episode to where we can dedicate some time to talk about this. And just to get your wheels turning, how is it that you can implement this strategy? How are you going to use it for? Where are the clients that are kind of on the fence? Where are these conversations that you've had that maybe you already have some personal rapport with, that you just want to push over the edge a little bit, right? You want to kick in that law of reciprocity and have that kick in and have that person be motivated to wanting to do something for you. And maybe that's just as simple as to give you a shot, right? To give your organization a shot to get your foot in the door to see how well you can perform. Because if you can pay that much attention to detail on something small, you're probably more than competent to go ahead and earn all of their future business. And that's what this kind of strategy does. Or maybe you're using it, and this is something that we've done as well, in combination with your digital marketing campaigns. So one thing that we did was we used this as an incentive for our PPC campaigns. And what we would do is we would go ahead and on our landing page, we would go ahead and say, hey, look, you can go ahead. So we would eliminate like the free estimate and all of that stuff, because everybody does free estimates and everybody does the 24/7 service and all of that, right? But what we did is we would frame it in a way to where we addressed how stressful the situation was, how good we were at solving that issue, but then after we solved the physical issue, how we would go ahead and put their minds at ease to give them some mental downtime by adding a vacation. And that campaign worked so amazingly well that it's just absolutely amazing how something as small, right, or at least from a business perspective, because it's only costing us $37. And by the way, this is not $37 per vacation that you give away. No, this is $37 period. And you can print out as many as these things as you want, which is the real power. So if you're one of the public adjusters out there that are listening to the show, And I know that there are some regulations with regards to the value and the things that you can give away. The reality is that even these kind of incentives you can give away, because even though the value of what you're giving away is upwards of $2,500, the total cost is $37, and that's even broken down further because you're printing out however many of these vacations to your prospects and your existing client base or your referral partners. So it's a very minimal expense to us as business owners, but on the receiving end, this is absolutely huge. So I want to leave you with this in your mind right now. If someone was to present you, right, if they came to your door, maybe you went to your mechanic and you had an issue with your truck or the wife's car, whatever the case may be. And this guy's like, hey, sure, I'm going to go ahead and, this is what the estimate is. They do the estimate, they do the repairs, they do a good job. And they're like, hey, look, I just really wanted to go ahead and thank you for your business. I want to do something special for you this season, or I want to do something really special for you. Here's a free vacation. Boom. How would you feel? Like, how would that make you feel? Especially if they told you, hey, look, and by the way, this is real value. We're paying for this. You don't have to sit through a timeshare. This is a real deal. All you got to do is just book the dates that you want and show up. How good would you feel? How many times would you talk about that company? How many times would you talk about that individual? I'm telling you, the snowball effect that you get is just absolutely amazing. And more importantly, the proof's in the pudding as far as when you look at the overall revenue that you can generate. Guys, remember this. The people that you're speaking to are just like you. They're just like you. They're regular people. They eat, they sleep, they go on vacations, they get stressed at work, they need some downtime. And there's so many ways that we can just be human and understand that by serving some of their human needs, that can generate us money. And beyond that, it's just different from what every other Tom, Dick, and Harry is doing when they're pitching your exact same client. So I invite you to try this out. Number one, try it on yourself so that you can see that it's no BS, that there's no strings attached, that there's nothing funny going on, that it's actually real. And book it for yourself first. You don't got to go anywhere exotic. Just book a trip. Book a trip to somewhere semi-local and see how it works. Then pull your phone out, record your overall experience about how it works, and then start giving it away to some of your staff members, right? Maybe give it away as a bonus and have them record the testimonial and be like, hey, thank you, ABC company. I'm here at so-and-so. Wow. This is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Now you got a video testimonial of how amazing this is, right? Because again, some people are going to be skeptical. We're going to work around this. You're going to go ahead. Number one, you're going to be a number one testimonial. Number two, some of your staff members or your project managers or whatever. And then maybe those really amazing clients that you have a real close relationship with, they go on one. And now you get that additional testimonial. Boom. Next thing you know, you've got not only this incentive, but then you also have the social proof that the incentive that you're giving is real and does in fact have value. This is when the machine really starts taking a life of its own and generating 7 figures by using just this one strategy. Trust me when I tell you, it's just beyond easy, but it just takes the very first step, which is you getting out of your own way with regards to what's common in our industry, and just have the bravery to try something new, to go ahead and just simply put it out there and see how people respond. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 people or 3 people. That's not a data set. I'm talking about really take it and integrate it as part of your business and give it a quarter, give it 2, and watch the magic happen from there. So this is what I want you to do. Head on over to restorationdomination.com/vacation. And right from there, you're going to see all the information about how it works. Okay. You're going to have marketing material. Once you sign up, you could try this thing out for 7 days, absolutely free. And then after that, it's just $37 a month. And you can print out as many of these things as you want, give away as many vacation packages as you want. And you're going to have access to landing pages. You're going to have access to promotion material. You're going to have access to so many things that you can start implementing into your business that is going to make this entire process very, very easy. And you'll see tons of testimonials of tons of different industries that have used this exact same strategy to generate a tremendous amount of money. So we're towards the end of the year. It's the holiday season. Christmas is right around the corner. 2024 is right around the corner. This is an amazing opportunity for you as a business owner to take something like this, implement it into your business, and then just watch the money grow. So head on over to restorationdomination.com/vacations, sign up, totally free, no strings attached. I think that you're going to love it. And then give it a whirl, right? Because worst case scenario, you have, you don't see a positive impact on your ROI, which I highly doubt, but you know what? Maybe you got a free vacation out of the deal. Some of your team members got a free vacation, and, you made a couple of people happy along the way. But ultimately, these are the kind of strategies that you want to start implementing in your business that, again, could really move the needle. So I hope that you enjoy. Head on over to restorationdomination.com/vacation, sign up, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.
You've been listening to Restoration Domination, your #1 resource for tips, tricks, and hacks to help your business grow. Subscribe to our channel and follow us for more Restoration Domination. And follow our host at Rico Garcia Jr. on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Till next time, this is Restoration Domination. Hustle, hack, dominate.